It's a debut now for my next guest. He's known as the Bomber. He's been on the scene for a long time. Was a top amateur. He missed out on the Olympics. He missed out on the Commonwealth Games in 2006. He kept winning titles and then he got serious, dropped some weight and turned pro. 13 fights later, he is the Commonwealth Light Heavyweight Champion and he defends his title tomorrow night at the Grosvenor House on a charity show for Deborah, a charity called Deborah, against Bob Adjasaf. Now, please welcome from Liverpool. Let's have a clap for this guy. Please welcome Tony Bellew. Thank you very much. Tony, how are you, son? We've got a live audience in the studio here.
Thanks a lot, mate. It's going great.
Tony, first of all, got a title defence tomorrow, and you know, he's one of those guys. A perfectly good fight for you at this stage in your career. And one of the problems, it seems to me, Tony, with a lot of young prospects, including you, is that it's maybe harder for you to keep focused on fights like this, fights that really most people expect you to win. Is that a problem with you, Tony?
No, mate, you know, I'm a diligent professional, you know, I've changed everything up since I've gone professional. And it's not a problem to focus on fights, you know, it's something that you've got to do when you turn professional. It becomes your job, it becomes your life. I've got an awful lot on the line. And, you know, come Friday night, Bob Adjasaf is going to see what I'm all about. I'm not underestimating him, I'm expecting a tough fight. He's had over 15 weeks notice for this fight, with the fight being pulled in July. So, you know,
an awful lot, isn't it?
Yeah, I expect a really good, in-shape Bob Adjasaf, but, you know, I'm going to be too much, I'm too strong, I'm better in every department. I'm just a much more complete fighter than him.
Yeah. Tony, on the subject, I don't like to look ahead after, you know, form fights, but you were there last week, you saw Nathan Cleverly. He's the big British light heavyweight at the moment. There's talk of him fighting Jürgen Brahmer if Jürgen Brahmer doesn't go to prison, in which case there's talk of Cleverly just fighting for a world title. How far are you away from mixing in Nathan Cleverly's class, do you think, Tony?
To be honest, I don't see the fight being that far away, and if things go to plan, which I'm hoping they do, you know, the fight can happen in 12 months' time. It could happen. It could possibly happen quicker. I hope he doesn't fight Brahmer. I feel he'll lose that fight if he fights Jürgen Brahmer. You know.
Really, you think if Brahmer's too tough for him?
Yeah, I don't think he's too tough. I think there's a possibility Nathan could outwork him, but Brahmer's a serious puncher. He's a one-punch artist, and Nathan has flaws in that department. I personally feel, you know, it's a possibility that he can win the fight. But you know, if you compare opponents, Brahmer completely iced Brancalion in one round, and that shows how much of a puncher he is. Whereas Nathan had to give him a real beat down on land, tons and tons of clean shots. Whereas Brahmer needs one shot, mate, one mistake, and it could be game over. So I'd like to see the Brahmer fight kept on ice until I can get hold of him, to be honest.
Good. You'd like that, don't you? You like a guy that's coming to you and threatening you, don't you, Tony? You like that bit. You like that sort of back against the wall thing, don't you?
That's ideal for me. You know, I'm the biggest light heavyweight possibly in Europe. I'm one of the biggest in the world. I'm 6'3". I was fighting light heavyweights when Nathan Cleverly was fighting light middleweight. So you know,
of course.
I'm big for the weight. I'm strong. And there's not one light heavyweight on this planet who's pushing me back, mate. If I'm going to be honest, I think I'm one of the strongest out there. I'm definitely one of the best prepared. As I say again, I'm diligent. I do everything right in the gym. And it's just a process now of putting it into the ring.
Now, finally, Tony, I'll let you go because I know you're boxing tomorrow night. The one thing that sort of strikes me is that I know it's not really what you want because you want to get people out there. That's your nickname and that's the way you work. But I think, and I don't know what you think, I think you need some 8 and 10 rounders somewhere.
Yeah.
I think that I mean, I know, you know, you've been 6 a couple of times or one time, but you've been blasting people out, and a lot of, you know, you've been doing good jobs on perfectly respectable, strong, tough guys. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. And it just seems to me, I know you're doing great sparring. I know about that famous session with James DeGale recently everyone's talking about, but it just seems to me it'd be good to get a good competitive 10-rounder in somewhere before you start moving up just that one level. Would you agree with that, Tony?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, mate. I understand where you're coming from, but I try to get rounds, and as I say, if you look at me, you have 4 guys who are an awful lot heavy. You know, I gave Matthew Ellis a few stone. I gave Marshall Bell Omer a few stone. I gave Paul Bonson a few stone. If any guy weighs in at 12 stone 7 or weighs anything under 13 stone and fights me, the guy's getting knocked out, mate. It's as simple as that. There's no guy at this weight who's going to take my power, who's going to take me 10 rounds, unless I start looking at elite fighters, the likes of John Pascal, the likes of Chad Dawson, and the likes of Tavares Cloud. Them guys are elite guys, and you know, obviously they're fights where I'm going to have to dig deep, get the rounds in. But if I'm looking domestically and European wise, I just don't see anybody taking me, mate, more than more than a fair set of rounds, because once I start landing clean, mate, the fights are going to be over.
Tony,
I'm just too big and stronger this week, mate.
You are. Listen, Tony, it's been a pleasure having you on. It was your first appearance, but it won't be your last.
Thanks a lot,
Tony,
mate.
good luck tomorrow night. Get plenty of sleep and defend your title, and let's get in some big fights. Tony Bellew there, the bomber from Liverpool. He's a good kid. Doesn't lack in confidence, as you heard there. Now...